Hey, what's happening, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me for another video. Today, we are actually going to look at the two figures that I wasn't able to show off in the last video. So this is going to be video 2 for today that I'm filming. And the last, more of a pickup video than a review video. And it was supposed to include these two figures, but with that video going north of 20 minutes... I didn't want to include them because I feel like that video could have been 30-40 minutes long, and I don't want to do that to you guys. So today we are going to look at the bell-to-bell action figures from Ringside Collectibles exclusives. Yes, we did do bell-to-bell recently. In fact, just well, for me it was last week. Depending on when I post this video, it could be a week ago, it could be 2 weeks ago. So today is, I believe, the 12th. Yeah, today is Tuesday, March 12th. So depending on when I post this video, but last week we looked at 3 tag team sets. 2 of them were the Steiner brothers, and we looked at 4 sets. 2 tag teams of the Steiners, 2 sets of I think it was Matt Cardona and Nick Gage, and Danhausen. We had a single card for Danhausen as well. Now, when I looked at those figures that I received from Ringside Collectibles, I'm like, wait a minute. I feel like I'm missing something. Because there was a very important tag team that I know I ordered that was part of it and didn't come in. So, I went on Ringside Collectibles, and I went to purchase that figure, and I came across another figure that I did not have either. And I'm like, you know what? If I did order these in the past, and they're still doing, I'll just have duplicates. It's fine. So it's really important that to me that I pick up these 2 packages and kind of have like a spin-off of the last bell-to-bell review video. So this one is not the Scott Steiner figures that, we're accustomed to. Obviously, the last Scott Steiner figures we looked at were variants of each other, and they included the Steiner Brothers tag team. This is a Big Papa Pump version of Scott Steiner. Now, I do not know anything about this version of Scott Steiner. I don't know if he was Big Papa Pump in WCW and then came to WWF with that look. Like I said, I watched very little of WCW in the early 90s, right? So, WWF was the thing that I watched as a kid, and going through the channels, and WCW was on, yeah, you'd stop and watch a little bit, but like I wasn't like obsessed with WCW. The Steiner Brothers, when I think of WCW Galoob figures, that's the Scott Steiner I think of, right? I think of, where is he at? In WWF, I think of that same character. This, to me, is Scott Steiner. And then suddenly, he transforms his body into Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I'm like, how the heck did that happen? He was already a fantastic wrestler, great athlete, great build. I mean, he had a legitimate opportunity to be world champion. That's how good he was. And then he transformed his body into this... I'm sure he was on steroids, man. In this day and age, it's hard to find athletes not on some kind of adrenaline or what's that thing that Mark McGuire used to use? And I almost called it Android, but I know that's not what it was. But I feel like it's something like that. But I don't think he needed to do this to his body. He was, like I said, he was already in shape, and he was already a fantastic athlete. What was he trying to impress? But you gotta blame Vince McMahon with a lot of these guys. I mean, Vince McMahon, it's already been put out and proven, decades ago that, even in the early 90s, that Vince McMahon was sued and had all of these fines levied against him because it was proven that he was, or the doctors were giving out steroids to the wrestlers and whatnot. I don't know what Vince McMahon's obsession with bodybuilders are, but I can understand why Scott Steiner did this to himself, because you got to blend in with the rest of the folks, and it's a shame. To me, this will never be the Scott Steiner that I'm familiar with. I'll always care about the early 90s Scott Steiner. But man, look at this dude. That is incredibly buff. I get to a point where, yeah, it's good to be strong and in shape and everything, but I always feel like there is a certain level of fitness. I think once your arms get to a certain size, your chest gets to a certain size, I'm like, that's enough. I guess keep working out to a point where, you don't lose any of that muscle, but as far as going overboard, trying to do more for your body to make your body even bigger, no, there should be a cutoff. That's just too much for me. The card, like I said in the last video, I absolutely love these cards. Think about original San Francisco toy makers, how thick the cardboard is. If you look at like Hasbro and you look at Galoob, even LJN to an extent, the cardboard isn't all that thick, right? It's like easily bendable. Like I feel like if I were to try to bend this right, I would have to put some strength into actually bending this. And I feel like with the make of it, if you bent it, it wouldn't be Spider Veins. It would probably be like a full rip or something. But I love the strength of these cardboards. Creating these amazing, talented wrestlers in Remco style. Kind of like your more modern day wrestlers. Not your AWA wrestlers. Absolutely fantastic. And the one tag team set that I was dying for, I gotta question myself now, because I know I ordered this tag team set with a bunch of others off of the Asylum website, and they were Remco style figures. I don't think that these are the same figures from Asylum. I think Asylum are completely different, but I got a notification from Asylum probably not even a week ago, or maybe it was a week, I don't know. And they said that, package being shipped. But on a daily basis, I go on to the USPS.com and I look at the tracker, and it shows that label created. So why would they send me a notification saying that the item is being shipped if they're not shipping it anytime soon? Send me that notification when the post office actually has the package, right? So I've been dying to make that video for, 6 months now? Something like that. Probably longer than that. I've been waiting on these figures. But if they are different, that's great, because the ones I got from Ringside Collectibles could be their own unique figures, which is awesome. And I am talking about Legion of Doom. Now, they actually call them Road Warriors on this package, but even when you look at like the Remco figures, it says Legion of Doom Road Warriors, or Road Warriors Legion of Doom, something like that. I'm trying to see which one comes first, but they do put both names on there. But unless I'm talking about like the actual AWA Remco figures, I'll refer to them as Road Warriors on there. But anywhere else, I'll always refer to them simply as Legion of Doom, because that's how I knew them. And kind of looking at these chest plates, those do look like removable pieces. So, beautiful Remco style figures, awesome removable accessories. Not like those ninja pants and stuff that they had from the AWA figures. This right here, like I said, for me is the cream of the crop. These are the figures I wanted the most. These are the ones I was most excited about. And if the Asylum figures come in and they're the exact same thing, bell to bell, I'll be disappointed, but at least I'll have another set, so I won't complain too much. But depending on what kind of fan you are, if you are a fan of Legion of Doom, if you're a fan of Remco, if you're a fan of wrestling in general, or you're trying to build all of these different tag team sets, regardless of toy line or anything like that, these were actually cheaper than I thought. I think last time I talked about them, I thought they were like $75, but I think they're more like $40. So at $40, they're still reasonably priced. And like I said, I feel like these are going to be what AWA Remco is today, right? So the figures on Remco sell on card $200-$300. I think next 20-30 years, this could be, again, $200-$300 figures, maybe even more. But that's another thing I should talk about. Maybe I'll talk about it on my eBay review video, weekly review video. I kind of feel like it's because there's so many collectors out there and so many people who collect, who buy and sell figures for a living, that everybody's buying duplicates and everybody's putting one off to the side for themselves forever, and they're going to wait for those figures to grow in price. So if everybody is saving their carded figures for resale later, then you're going to have thousands and thousands of cards floating around 20, 30 years from now, instead of maybe hundreds or dozens. So it won't be as rare. That's going to suck. I keep saying that this collection, for me, I've said it a million times, it's going to stay with me until the day I die. But at the same time, if I ever get to a point where, you know, I'm 70 years old and I'm flat broke and I need life-saving medicine that I can't afford or something, I mean, are the collections going to be that more important than my medicine or my health at that point, right? So, and I'm based on what I paid for this stuff. Yeah, I'm hoping that this stuff is worth the same or more, 30 years down the road, if I ever have to sell these items. So, I'm kind of banking on a lot of these things to be valuable. And imagine one day, 70 years old, 60 years old, having someone come in here and say, hey, your total collection's worth $40,000. And let's say you paid $300K into it. That's going to be a total slap in the face, right? No, I haven't paid $300,000 on this stuff yet. But, yeah, it's definitely up there. I've said before, if I didn't start this collection, my house would have been paid off a long time ago. But that is the Road Warriors. I'm going to do one last look over the figures. So good. Alright. I am going to stay down here and film one more video. Just so I can get these last 3 figures off the floor. As you guys know, when it comes to the My Favorite Manager Tournament, I've been posting those videos every Friday. I'm not going to do that with the next tournament. I said Friday was going to be like, Friday tournament day. One tournament ends, I'll start a different tournament. That way there will always be a tournament going on. But I kind of feel like the Manager Tournament is not getting as many views as it should. I don't think it's because people don't care about the managers. I just think it's because I'm filming one video a week, or I'm posting one video a week of it. Now, if I was getting like on a daily basis or every few days or something, I think people would be much more interested. But I think it's kind of hard for a lot of viewers to kind of remember what happened in the previous week to have any interest in the current week. So, I have filmed pretty much all the videos. Right now, all I have, I think, is... What is it? I think it's round 5. I think round 5 is the finals, the last three figures, and that's it for me. That will complete the tournament. So I'm thinking by probably mid-April will be the completion video. So I think round 2 had 3 videos. Round 3 will have 1 video. I think round 4 was the semifinals, and then round 5 was going to be the finals. So I think I'm at 2.2 right now, 2-2. So yeah, that's 3 or 4 videos to go. So that's awesome. All right, guys, that will complete the video for today. Any questions? Any interest? Need to know where to go looking for these figures? Hit me up. Let me know what you're looking for, and kind of give you my recommendations or whatnot. As always, thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Talk to you in the comments, and see you in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.